Yo, what is up, guys? So welcome back to another episode of Overwatch Coaching, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Winston that is 1702 SR, that is silver rank. But if any of you guys want to be coached, now we're waiting for the round to start, you guys can go ahead and just hit me up over on Twitter. You can just send me a YouTube link over there, or on Discord, or you can just hit me up on the old-fashioned email. Just need the video to be in 720p, and we will get you to Grandmasters. But anyways, I actually do need to change. Those are my ranks as of right now. But we're going to hit top 500 this season. But I got to wait 2 weeks before actual top 500 comes out. All right. While the round is starting, let's check this out. Mistakes we are already making. All right. So you're playing Winston. All right. We see 2 people over here. Our first instinct should be either A, go with them, or B, go over to this high ground. So those are kind of your options at this point. Being up over here lets you kind of see what you need to do. However, if they decide to dive, one problem that you will have if you decide to go on this high ground versus like up here is that if you dive in, you might be at an awkward angle unless you can DI, directional influence, right into the hole, which might be a little bit questionable. So I think the right situation would have been to be here with your teammates. Again, it's just a little bit hard for the angle for you to jump in and be effective if they decide to dive. I don't know what their team comp is. But that's just something to keep that in mind. Look, the round has started. What is your tank? What are your tanks doing? Your tanks need to be in the front. Generally, you want the tanks up in front, then the DPS, then the heals. General, like obviously if there's flankers or Widowmaker, you want Widowmaker in the back, but generally that's what you want. All right, so it looks like you can already see the situation over here. They've got D.Va and Reinhardt. Looks like your team is trying to get a pick. Okay, we got the pick. That's great. All right, important thing. Let's pause. Hopefully we can see a better screenshot. All right, we'll use your HP bar here. All right, so one thing to keep in mind: Winston's gun. This doesn't do it does hardly any damage. Basically tickles people, especially when they're at armor. I know it's hard to see, but this is like the HP bar. This is where the armor is. This is the you'll see it's like orange or yellow. It reduces the damage that you would take by a flat integer of 5, unless the damage is actually under that specific integer, and then it reduces it by 50%. Let's make it too long, didn't understand. Basically, you don't want to be hitting things that have armor if your damage integer is very low, with the exception of Tracer because it's firing really fast. But even then, like, you don't get good value out of shooting armor. So one thing that you can do to check the HP, and this also has to do with something that's really important on Winston, which is to utilize your melee. So you'll see over here, each one of these little squares, rectangles, they represent 25 HP. For armor, it's the same. It's just colored differently. With Winston, you want to actually use your melee when they are at 25, a little bit over 25. But just to make it simple, just once you see someone at like 1 bar plus like maybe a little sliver, you can just go for melee. It kills things a lot faster, and theoretically, you're saving your ammo, so you can go ahead and go on another target. But generally, you don't want to go in on targets like D.Va, just in general. It's just not very efficient. What you should have done as soon as you guys got that Reinhardt is everyone should just push up and just try to melt them. And you have a Junkrat spamming, and they don't have a Reinhardt to block that. And obviously D.Va's defense matrix, it can only go so far. That fight was definitely lost for them as soon as Reinhardt just basically got melted by the Roadhog. But at this point, you guys are good. You should push up with that Genji just to make sure he can kind of guarantee his kills. Yeah, the soldier could theoretically get a kill on the Genji. Ooh, that was dangerous. All right. So one thing to mention for melee as Winston, you want to melee at the very end of a target's HP like pool. So basically, again, once you see that 1 sliver of health, that's where you want to actually melee. Or when you jump in and right before you land, just hit that melee button and it's going to reset your animation so you can get in more damage. You also do damage when you land on someone. So basically, melee right before you hit the floor, before you touch the floor. That's ideal. All right, so we're kind of indecisive on this. Looks like we kind of wanted to go on the D.Va, but we kind of decided to change our mind over there. That's okay, not too bad. If she's ulting, that's wasted. You guys have no one there. Sometimes it's okay to ult as D.Va just so you can get back a mech with full health. That might have been her idea. All right, whoa. All right, hold on. All right, we're at 340 HP. At the moment, I didn't see like a target that could deal 300 damage. There's no ultimate that does. Well, D.Va's mech could it can do 1,000 damage, but it was already used. There was no need for us to ult this early. All right, important little thing to keep in mind. So I guess you heard Soldier, he was like right here. He's got you in his sights. The first thing that you should do is put your body in front of him, and then once you get to a certain amount of HP, whatever you feel more comfortable with, because it depends on your ping, and at the moment it looks like via the top over here, I know you guys can't see because my face cam's there, he's at 43 ping, so you should be okay as far as, it depends on your reaction time, but there's no one that can just hit you for 340 damage, unless there's like a damage boosted Widow, but that's a scenario that's not existing. There's no like McCree that's, you know, using his ultimate. You use your ult way too early. Wait until it gets a little bit lower. I mean, maybe like 200, depending on how comfortable you are. Sometimes people get really greedy with it, but definitely way too early in that scenario. And that was okay. Oh, whoa, hold on, okay. I'm gonna say it was okay that you didn't throw down shield. One mistake a lot of people make is they don't throw down shield before they like ult as Winston, because you can't use your shield when you are in your ult. But we decided, okay, so the fight over here, Soldier ulted, you got Soldier, that's good. You jump in, and the first thing that you should instantly think about doing is going right here, because this is about where you're gonna land. You want to 180 push this Reinhardt into your team. You've already gotten 1 DPS down, and then after you 180 smack the Reinhardt over there, you should focus on Anna. The reason why I say Anna is because I mean, she could put you to sleep. It's a pretty easy target, but more likely as soon as you ult, she probably already used her sleep dart and tried to hit you, but she missed. Because Anna doesn't have a good escape. She's not mobile at all. And it's not like D.Va can defense matrix you smacking her. Okay, so we really should have just stuck on that Anna, pushed the Reinhardt into the team. They already lost a DPS, and I guess their other DPS is Genji. I didn't even see him in that fight. Maybe he was already dead. But definitely should have pushed the Reinhardt into the team. Looks like you had a Torb, right? So you could have got Torb some ult charge. Good, we're on the D.Va. We're putting that shield just to create space, and that's good. That was good shield. But a lot of times I'm feeling like you're using your shield too passively. You're not very aggressive with it. You're not like diving into the enemy team, then throwing your shield. You're just kind of like, you're throwing your shield down and just kind of just creating space for your team in a sense where you would benefit yourself off of playing an Orisa more. That's the playstyle that you want to go for. Again, at lower ranks, you'll definitely see people play way more passive. Okay, one important thing. I don't know if you noticed this. Your Mercy did ult. Their Mercy is dead. Their Soldier is on high ground. I believe he might have just dropped, but I know he was definitely on high ground. You didn't go for high ground over here or over here. One important thing is to get high ground. It's really important in these lower ranks. It's something that just doesn't really see taken into like consideration is getting the high ground, because I mean, you had a Genji that could technically go up there, but your body just being in front of the Soldier creates space for your teammates not to get hit. Therefore, it's just good value. What the heck is shooting? Okay, let's talk about this. All right, you missed the window. Obviously, like you wanted to get inside of the area. So one thing that's important is D.Va outside of mech doesn't do very much damage. Now that will 100% kill the shield. However, it was just cracked. I think if you stood under it, you would have been okay. You can also just jump up. Okay, so I'm not sure if the shield, like I didn't get to see, like your camera wasn't there. The shield was like right here, right? The Mercy died over here. If you would have just stood right here, the Mercy might have just been like, oh, I'll just fly right towards you. Like that would have been real easy for the Mercy. I don't know if the bubble did break. There is technically a chance that it broke. But I want to say that it like just cracked. So again, that's something that oh no, don't go in. You're like 1 HP. Oh, you're bearing the risky move. I like it. It worked out. All right. And it's good that you're going back to get your Mercy back to the point. And since she did pop Valve the last fight, you are building her ult charge. Okay, now we're gonna get high ground. Okay, no high ground. All right. Real important thing. This Winston is nanoed. This means you're not going to do any damage. It reduces damage by 50% at the time I'm making this video. Unless, of course, Anna gets changed later on. They buff her ultimate or nerf it, whatever. But you do half the damage, so that's a very bad trade for you. Winston's gun doesn't do very much damage in the first place, so don't do that. D.Va, I can't really tell. I think she's almost out of mech. If she ends up being out of mech, whatever, your Torb turret will finish it off. And he's already multi cord. Your first thing that you should think about is Soldier over here? Is he on the high ground? Who can you target? These tanks? No, bad targets. Generally, you don't want to go on tanks as Winston unless whatever Discord or scenarios, right? But for the most part, what did we ult that again? Hold on. Alright, we ulted, it's really hard to see. I think we ulted at like 220-ish. That was actually not too bad. They're theoretically not so bad. Okay, I just wanted to see what your ult was at. Getting put to sleep. Yeah, Winston is a huge target. It's really easy for Ana to hit, even at like lower ranks, but so you end up getting a team kill, that's good, and that's pretty much, okay, that's the last push that they had. Alright, so it definitely seems like you're playing a little bit more passive than you should have been. Utilizing your bubbles. I think with the whole melee thing, you probably just didn't even know about that. I'm gonna link a video down below. It's XQC, which is a very popular streamer. He's actually really good at the game as well, but he's arguably one of like the best tanks in the game. But he explains it much more like in depth. But to give like a too long didn't watch, basically you want to use your melee at the very end of a kill, basically trying to finish off the target. Okay, let's look at your team comp. All right, so we got 4 DPS, a Mercy, and a Winston. So solo heal, solo tank, that's totally fine. At these lower ranks, like anything can be possible. I do mean anything. Alright, so as soon as the gate opens up, this is what you should definitely be doing. And again, just jumping right on top of here or here, just getting the high ground. This allows you to see what's over here, and they'll be lining or shooting down over here to build their ult charge. But it lets you assess the situation and how you want to approach them, because until 15 seconds passes, you cannot hit your tab key or what is it? The PlayStation like touchpad button, so you can't see what they're running until 15 seconds. It won't show up. Okay, so it looks like we're going over on street. Looks like they got a Torb Symmetra. All right, so the first thing you should do is just get rid of those turrets. It looks like your team is all going top left, and we're still on street for I don't know what reason. Good that you got those turrets, because those turrets can be. Wait, did he just get 2 picks? Or the Hanzo? Wait, hold on, what did the Hanzo get? Okay, the Hanzo ended up getting a pick on the Symmetra, so that's good. Just go ahead and clear those turrets, and then so you guys traded. You're 1 for 1. Hanzo got another pick, so that's up 1 target still. Mercy comes in for the res. Hanzo does die. At this point, you're like -1 because the Mercy didn't pull off a res. Now you're at neutral. So just keep these things in the back of your mind. Okay, so you decided to back out completely, and you were really low at HP, so that was fine that you did back out over there, because Winston's probably not going to do too much. You didn't have barrier up, so you couldn't really help out your team too much. Alright, so you guys already lost the fight. You should have just backed out, unless your goal right here is to build ult charge and then regroup with your team. I would have just regrouped. It probably would have been much more of a benefit, because your team is still building ult charge. It's not like you only need ult charge. Also, building Torb ult charge is really, really dangerous at these lower ranks. First off, I would never want to engage a Torb as a Winston. It's not because you're at lower rank, it's bad, but generally Torb will get the better trade. It's because it's much easier for him to out DPS you. Especially at lower ranks, Torbjorns will usually give the armor to themselves. And keep that in mind, Winston does not do too well against things with armor. It looks like someone swapped off and played D.Va, that's good. But you definitely need to be on the lookout for that. Like I said, just try not to engage Torbjorn. It's just not very good. Okay. Oh, why are we not jumping? Okay, so let's take a look at this. The Hanzo over here, again, there's a lot of times you're doing this. You're using your bubble so early on that like when the fight actually happens, you don't have it up. You should always try to think, okay, I'm going to jump in. And again, remember, right before you land on the floor, hit the melee button, and then you can throw down your shield. You can throw the shield like mid-air, so you get like more value out of it. Sometimes you get more value out of shield mid-air, is what I should say. But, okay, so Hanzo ult's over here, alright? So Hanzo's ult, obviously, it's not going to go anywhere but straight. So your first instinct should be, I should go ahead and jump right into the air, alright? So your first thought process should be going into the air. When this Hanzo ult is going this way, they have to either be going like right here, where they're kind of, it's basically in front of the D.Va, or they go on the other side. If they stand in the middle, they die, so it's a plus for you. But ideally, you want to dive into the air. This has created space for you to create extra space if you only had the bubble, but definitely should have been jumping up in the air to assess the situation and then make a play from there. And it looks like Symmetra was at the top over there. Alright, so, alright, we have shield again. Our first instinct should have been, alright, right here, our first instinct should have been, okay, we got shattered. I'm going to go ahead and use my barrier. Just walk forward, throw down your barrier, just see what happens, and then you can assess the situation. You guys are already down 1 character right now. More than likely, this fight is not going to go in your favor. Okay, and then Mercy's dead. At this point, just get out. You building ult can be okay, but the thing is that your whole team is pretty much dead. So it can be very risky over here. So it looks like the guy switched to Ana that was playing a Hanzo. So you guys have 2 heals and 2 tanks now. Good. So at least a good start, right? Looks like, yeah, let the Ana heal you up. Okay, good thing you did not dive. That would be bad. So I guess at this point we understand Roadhog is on the high ground. When you guys have a diva, it is okay to, I don't know where she's at right now, but you guys can take high ground much easier. Because if it was just you against that Winston versus the Hog, it's not ideal. Alright, so Junkrat's ulting. Alright, when Junkrat ulted, alright, the first instinct that you should have is I want to just jump in because they're going to be like, where's the tire? Where's the, they're getting ready for it. Roadhog, did he just give it a high ground? That's kind of bad. Okay, what? Wait, what? Okay, so I guess he was trying to shoot the tire. It didn't work out. Alright. Alright, so, well, you know the Hog's up there, so you should be real careful. Okay, so, one thing that I want to mention. So, as soon as you still had jump up, try to watch your jump cooldown. You're not being very effective with it. Almost at the point where you could actually pop this. Theoretically, depending on the distance that Roadhog pulls, you might have had it up. At the point where he just hooked it, sometimes at these lower ranks, they're not very on point with it. And what you could have done is you could have jumped in front. Now, Roadhog can actually hit Winston for 200 relatively easy. But what you can do is try to jump up and then use half of your body. I know it's a little bit hard for positioning, but try to position yourself so like he can only hit half of you. And what that does is you can make him take some damage, the Junkrat is, and then you also take some damage because you're about to build up ult too. And you're also getting healed by Mercy. Oh, we didn't actually get him. Because Junkrat's a very easy target for Roadhog to kill. You could have popped ult potentially and pushed him off. So at this point, you got the turret down. The Mercy's down. This is a great time. Alright, important thing. Alright, so as soon as we were hitting, we could, like I said, we could have pushed him off. But you cannot use your shield, your little barrier. You cannot use it when you have your ultimate up. So ideally, what you would do in this scenario is you would use this and then pop your ultimate. Let's see how this plays out again. Looks like you jump in, right? So while you're in the air, you would generally want to put it around here. Looks like you were jumping in. Looks like you were kind of looking. Let's go a little. Okay, so at this point, you're basically at the corner right here. This is bad for shield placement. You would have wanted it right here. That would be like the most ideal spot to you know, protect your allies. So over here, you're kind of hitting Roadhog. Okay. Again, Roadhog might not be the best target to go on. It seems like you kind of are all over the place with what you want to target. You looked at that target, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to this target now. Throwing down that there you go. That's a good barrier. But at this point, it was game over anyways for the enemy team. So it looks like we're getting to the end of the video. Do we get to play the game? Who gets it? Okay, that's the end of the video. All right. So real quick, tips. Definitely play more aggressive. The whole melee thing, that's something you probably didn't even know about. I'll link a video down below. His XQC's vid on it. Also, play more aggressive. When your teammates are up, try to play more aggressive. Give them that confidence, because at lower ranks, unless you push forward, they're probably not going to be like, alright, I'm going to push forward because I know that Winston's going to jump in 3 seconds. Because sometimes players, they'll walk forward just because they're able to know that the Winston in 2 seconds will be in front of all of them. And so they're trying to kind of mitigate some of these space because a lot of things in Overwatch, they have fall-off damage, which means at a further range, they do less damage. But overall, just work on that. It seems like you would benefit off of playing Orisa a little bit more if you want to sit back and kind of use that shield. It seems like you're doing that a lot. Orisa's actually not too bad for hitting tanks just because it's a little bit harder to track some smaller targets. But Orisa might be a good hero just to pick up for you. It's just something I'm going to probably be doing a lot more in this series. Also, try not to go off Torb. At this point, the fight was completely lost. So staggering is a big deal, meaning that you're not regrouping with your team. Once like one person dies, you're going in. Like there's a few people that were dead. Like there's nothing that you're going to get out of this other than giving the Torbjorn ultimate charge. Sure, you charge your ult a little bit, but Torb's ult is much more valuable than yours in this scenario. Sometimes it depends on the composition, it can depend on the ranks and stuff, but at this rank, Torbjorn's turret will definitely get way more value than a Winston ult. But anyways, hopefully this helps any of you guys out that play Winston, as well as just some tips on like the whole armor and other mechanics. But definitely go for high ground. You're not going for that at all. If you want a grounded tank like Orisa, I think she would be a great hero for you to try out if you want to try out another hero. But if you want to play Winston, definitely just go for the high ground. That's just the biggest tip. And again, play a little bit more aggressive. I know you might have been scared because you were at half HP. The Hanzo ult was going in though. They had to get away. They were going to turn around. And again, at this point, you should have just jumped out. You could throw down the shield, try to build your ult charge, and then just immediately jump out. Looks like you stayed a little bit longer than necessary, even though like nothing really, they didn't end up punishing you. But go to a higher rank game and that would definitely happen. But it's good that you were regrouping with your teammates. And again, going and doing the same thing you did before, where you walked next to Mercy so she could fly and get there faster, and also build her ult charge. You're getting like double value over there. But anyways, hopefully again this helps any of you guys out that play Winston. If any of you guys want help there, again, it's just up on the screen. But anyways, we'll be doing more of these later this week. I really love doing this because it lets me see what other people do for ranks, and also it helps me get better at the game. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I am signing out.